I understand it. That doesn't mean I have to like it, though. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do into have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, I have 10 minutes to talk about my thoughts about Egoist Kunigami. And oh, this will be at 10 minutes indeed. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start this timer right this instant. Oh, wait, no, it's locked. Wait, please, start now. Okay. So, Egoist Kunigami is a character of characters, I'd say. He's one of the characters that I will readily admit I was expecting more out of, yet I'm fine with what we got, but I don't really like what we got, even if I believe it's just to set it for the future. This is a complicated domino effect of emotions that I felt about Kunigami, especially, like, really? Since the end of the Ubers game, but was especially highlighted by the end of PXG, Kunigami was not really allowed to be a character during the new Egoist League, simply because it was not his story. And unfortunately, the time when it was his story was locked beneath multiple other characters' stories that took much higher precedence. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, the new Egoist League is very specifically a story of Isagi and Kaiser. I've seen a lot of people say it's the story of Rin and Isagi, and I'm like, Rin was in one game. Let's not play these games. It was Isagi and Kaiser's story. So with that being the case, Kunigami was obviously going to have to fall beneath Isagi. But we do have one game where Kunigami is the co-protagonist. It's the first game, aka the shortest game, aka the game where Kunigami is showing us his new character, quote unquote. The whole idea of the fallen hero archetype. And that's fine. I actually like the idea of Wildcard Kunigami. And I even like the execution of Wildcard Kunigami. At least from the little hints and tastes and whiffs of what we got of what the Wildcard program even was, it makes absolutely perfect sense that that man would come out with stage 3 anger issues and sadness, considering what put him there and what he had to go through inside of there. However, the main issue is, since it wasn't his story, and his main story presence was only allotted to Barcha, he wasn't really allowed to get what I felt like the character deserved for his legacy impact, and also what he was hyped up to be. Obviously, no one really believed Kunigami was going to be an equivalent to Noel Noah. Like, sure, nice idea, cool story, bro, you got ambidextricity, wild. But at the same time, for him being reduced to nothing but a guard dog and an assist in the PXG game, where he very specifically got his rematch against Shido, only to have Shido outlast him, it's really, really rough. But the thing is, the reason I get all that but don't like it yet I'm fine with it is because I know this really isn't Kunigami's end. Just as I knew that Kunigami was not going to end up being a real copy of Noel Noah, top tier crazy threat that we're going to have to worry about, oh no, I knew that wasn't going to happen. I also knew Kunigami was not going to be out of the top 23. But then at the same time, I also said I didn't think Nagi was going to be out of the top 23, so who was really right here? But with that being the case, obviously, Dark Hero Kunigami is meant to be his low point. Like the point where he's at the bottom of the rung. And we're presumably going to spend the entire U20 World Cup arc rising him back into something greater. So that's okay. But once again, that's on a hypothetical future. I'm stuck with Kunigami as he is right now, and it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't get me wrong, he has his moments at the New Egoist League where I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I actually am one of the few who's a real big fan of his goal in Manshine. I thought it was like a fantastic way to make Isagi have his cake and sort of be forced to eat it too, when he got so greedy that he actually decided to try and score between Kaiser's legs, only to have Kunigami come in and clutch up for him and take that goal and turn Isagi's hypothetical goal into an assist. I love that. I love the idea of a poaching striker. And I'll admit, I kind of want Kunigami to have more of that, because that's kind of where the character peaked in terms of the whole dark hero mindset, because afterwards, he just became a tool for Isagi. And don't get me wrong, I've read stories before. I understand that to some degree, every single character in the narrative is a tool for the main character, and even the main character is a tool for the author. So, Kunigami getting reduced down to nothing but his ambidextricity is fine, but to have Isagi take the thing that he was known for and do it better, that's kind of crazy. Remember, Isagi essentially ripped that ability from Kunigami off screen. Of course, I'm fine with that. It was implied that he trained for it, so that's fine. But that's the thing. The moment that Kunigami lost that, it now wasn't going to be his thing for the rest of the arc. And it wasn't. Once he got that thing, and he gave it to Isagi during Ubers, when do we see Kunigami even take another shot? Huh? Remember, the last time Kunigami got a goal was what, like 3-4 years ago now? It was the second goal of Manshine. It's been forever. And that's the thing. He was built up to be a striker on a team full of strikers with two more important strikers whose narratives transcended him when he was only playing in the 3-goal format. So legitimately, Kunigami kind of got the worst deal on top of the worst deal on top of the worst deal. And unfortunately, PXG versus BM doesn't help him because he wouldn't be allowed to man-mark Shido for the entire match. Of course, he has one of the best physical man-marking feats in the series where he was able to lock down Shido, this monster, this demon, this animal, this creature. But we did have to sub him off. He couldn't keep up with Shido perfectly, even though Shido didn't go through no wildcard program, didn't get no crazy stat amps. No, Shido's just still Shido, and he was still able to best Kunigami in a way. In a way. And that's kind of embarrassing, considering Kunigami's whole narrative and the reason he became a fallen hero was because of Shido. So it's like this weird thing where Kunigami is in like the perfect narrative position to do exactly what he's meant to do. He's meant to appear cool, show the new level of what Blue Lock could reach, be surpassed, and give Isagi things that Isagi can use better than him. And he does all that perfectly, but I just think I wanted more, right? Like, I wanted more. But at the same time, it's one of those cases where I wanted more, but I'm fine with the fact that he feels a bit hollow because there's gonna be more in the future, and I wouldn't really sack anything, right? Like, because of the 3-goal structure of the New English League, what goal am I taking away? From the point that Kunigami scores in Manshine, what goal am I taking away? I'm not taking away any of Isagi's Ubers or PXG goals. I have to keep those for his narrative, and I'm always gonna rank Isagi higher than that. Higher than my glorious legendary Juicy King Kunigami. Isagi's always going to be ranked higher than that. And I'm not taking away either of Kaiser's goals either. Kaiser's Uber goal is my favorite goal in the entire series. And it's not really that close. And then Kaiser's PXG goal, I'll admit, I'm not as, like, to the moon about it as a lot of other people are. But still, like, it's a really good goal. And also necessary for his narrative. And once again, I rate Kaiser's narrative higher than Kunigami's as much as I like Kunigami. So that's the thing, I kind of can't change anything. And that's why I said it feels hollow, right? Like, Kunigami truly was brought in, brought back, put on the table, cut open, ripped his guts out, tore him out. Isagi feasted upon them, took the ambidextrosity, and ran away with it. And he did cool things. That's the thing, right? He did cool things. And Kunigami had his moments, but man, for someone who literally ended the first phase of Blue Lock, right? We end with the Kunigami reveal at the end of the U20 game. The wildcard program was a success with Kunigami. To see him struggle so much, man. Like it hurts. It hurts, but it makes sense for where the character's going. And if you're wondering, well, Pencil Man, where do you think the character's going if all this supposedly makes sense, even if you don't like it? I think he's going to do something, but that's the thing, though. Kunigami's in that weird narrative importance point where he's gonna have to succeed somehow, but at the same time, he's got real stiff competition. Like, once again, he's not beating Isai's narrative, he's not beating Baro's narrative, he's not beating Rin's narrative. Heck, you could argue he may not even beat Chikiri's narrative. Rayo probably ranks higher narratively than Kunigami. Like, that's the thing. So many other characters are here that fill Kunigami's role and sometimes do it better. I'm not kidding when I said Isagi sold the ambidextrosity tech and just used it better. We now have other characters getting ambidextrosity that are complete randoms and obviously fall lower than Kunigami in the narrative weight scale, but still, Kunigami's one thing outside of his hero's lefty is now less valid with the Nase running around. And of course, we have other physical beasts and tanks too, such as your Baros and your Aikus. So, like, Jaylee, what is Kunigami gonna do? What is he gonna do? I don't know, but I hope he succeeds, and I think he will. Unlike many other characters, I don't think Kunigami has gotten like a Kaneshiro interview where Kaneshiro Sensei fell out the heavens, was like, hey, I'm gonna do a really cool thing with Kunigami eventually. Just be a little bit patient. He's done that for a bunch of characters so far. I don't think he's gotten that with Kunigami just yet. But Kunigami, I think he's gonna get it. But the real question is how and where. Like, because of Kunigami's heavy ties to the Egoist 4, and also his inability to ever really be the peak of the Egoist 4, he's kind of always going to be in this weird limbo scenario where he's not going to be allowed to be like what the upper limits of that he could be, but he can't be too low and too irrelevant that he's like Nanase level in terms of narrative relevance. So he's always just going to be stuck in the middle. It's why I feel really bad for like pure Kunigami fans. I know a couple people who do have Kunigami as their favorite character in the series, and I'm sitting there like, you are never gonna eat the way you want to eat. Like, darn near every other character that's had any sort of major spotlight will probably have a better chance than Kunigami of being at all relevant because they are more unique and or just have more narrative weight. Your Isagi's, your Rins, your Bachiras, your Yieris, all of them got a little bit extra sauce to them, while ironically enough, Kunigami feels like more of a copy than the copy man himself. and honestly has even less narrative weight. So it's a real rough thing for Neo Egoist League Kunigami. I think he served his role fine. I think he served his role really, really well. I wish he had more, but at the same time, I'm not really willing to give him more, so I understand what Kanashiro Sensei ended up doing. And now all I can do is sit back and hope for the future of the fallen hero. And I can't wait to see him rise again and do something. Maybe gets a game winner in the U20, maybe gets a game winner in the World Cup arc itself. I don't know, but regardless, I hope the poor boy gets something because he's desperately fiending for it. But with that being the case, I have 1 second left. Psych, I have absolutely 0 seconds left. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave Hero Reborn. Even though, like, he's not yet. Like he's still really down the track. Like, he kind of is, but he really ain't. So, like, please leave Hero Reborn question mark in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, make sure that notifications so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you do have a Patreon below, you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions, so this season to review, have variations of all my videos, and if you become a $12 Patreon or a $12 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, you have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 minutes for a short video, 20 ratings on video, or any means at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Ura, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis97, Zachary Wilson, Azo2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, and G Prosper. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art tier patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Dreadzoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members: Austin Wimberly, A. Uchiha, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Waki Munoz and Waki Munoz. And I think the final Giga Super Gargantuan Legendary Ultimate and even further beyond thank you to our ultimate tier, That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.